So before I get started on this Queen Sugar, I guess recap video, I don't want to say, yeah, I guess I can say discussion, because I don't even know if I want to call it a recap, so I'll say discussion. I just wanted to say nothing has changed here on my channel. I've taken time away because it got to the end of the school year for my children, and because they were in a K through 12 online school, I had to literally take time to catch them up, help them catch up with their schoolwork and everything, so that way, you know, they could matriculate on to the next grade. So we were very busy for like the past couple of months, you know, getting that together, as well as some other things that I was taking care of on my end as well. Very tiresome, but had to get done. Now I am in the process of getting ready to submit my homeschool application, so I will definitely be doing an update about that. As far as tracing my family, I am still on that as well. I'm going to make a separate video about, you know, how that's been going, because I feel like that's important to talk about that, because the journey does not happen overnight. This is very, you know, this particular kind of journey for some of us will be longer than others, only because, you know, for my situation, my family does not stay up here in Northeast Ohio. I do. My family actually stays down south in Alabama, so it's in both sides. Well, as far as my mother's paternal and maternal families, they stay, both sides stay down in Alabama. My father's side, I don't know if I'll be able to exactly trace that. I'm not really concerned with tracing it, but you know, because I don't really have any interaction with my father. But anyway, that's 1 minute too long on that. I just want to give you all an update, and like I said, I'll come back with a video in regards to tracing my family and what I've learned so far. But Queen Sugar, y'all, Queen Sugar, you know what, I just realized I don't know what season we are on. Yeah, okay, so it's called Pleasure is Black, season 4, episode 1. Getting into it anyway. What I can't stand is like any show that it takes over like a year later to start the show back over again, and by then I've watched other shows, I've done other things in life, and I forget everything that happened in the prior season to the new season coming out and being released. However, with Queen Sugar, as I watched the first episode, it's like the first episode that they do recap the prior season at the beginning, so it basically reminded me of the things that has happened, how far, you know, Queen Sugar has come, and where they stand as of now, where they should be at once the new season begins. So of course this episode opens up with a recap. What I love is the fact that we see Hollywood and Aunt Vi, you know, they were on their honeymoon, and I don't know, they made it sound like it was in Thailand. So, you know, it looks like Aunt Vi is doing well for someone who was diagnosed with I believe it was lupus. You know, she's doing, looks like she's healthy, she's vibrant, she's got that new marital glow. And you know, Hollywood, he got that swag, he laid back, and you know, as long as she's happy, you can always tell, like, he's always watching over her like her angel, and as long as she's happy, you know, he's happy. And what a husband, right? What a husband. Like, the way he supports Aunt Vi, I gotta call her Aunt Vi because that's what they call her on the show, but Violet, the way he supports Violet, it's like, wow, what a man, right? Like, I can't, can we just focus on that for a minute, the relationship between Violet and Hollywood? And even though they go through their ups and downs, there was even like the season where they spent time apart because Hollywood went to work on that rig, and we thought he got blown up on that rig because that rig ended up blowing up and things like that. They have such a strong connection with one another, and they always find themselves back to one another, and it's just, it's the chemistry. Like those two that actor and that actress together, they have excellent chemistry with one another, and it definitely spills over to the big screen, and you can, I mean, you can believe it, like, it's very believable. But that character, the character Hollywood, and the way he loves Violet, the way he wants to see her happy, the way he wants to take care of her, you know, remember, he won the lottery, and, you know, she was like, that's your money, but he's like, no, this is our money. And now Violet has her restaurant, thanks to Hollywood. And, you know, what a man. I just have to highlight that. What an incredible man. But Violet is also an incredible woman. So like energy attracts like energy, okay? Anyway, moving on. So we also see that Nova Bordelon, yes, I'm looking at Google right now because I can't remember anybody's name. Again, when these shows go away and then they come back a year later, I didn't forgot just about everybody's name. Sometimes I forget what is happening, what's the main, issue in the season. Like, I forget everything. But anyway, Nova Bordelon portrayed by the actress Rutinia Wesley. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She's awesome. I've been following her since True Blood, y'all. I love me some Rutinia Wesley. But anyway, what we do know about her is that from last season is that she has this book that she's been working on, and it's like this book got some stuff in there, right, that she don't want her family to know just yet. But when they open up this season, it's like, okay, the book is already being released. So when is you plan on telling Miss Nova Bordelon, when do you plan on telling your family about the things that are in this book? So it's like this big mystery as to what is in this book. What is so damaging in this book? What is the juicy secrets in this book that she's really hesitant and afraid to tell her family about, or nervous to tell her family? Look like she's more afraid than anything to tell her family about. And then there's even a scene where Violet opens up her restaurant, Aunt Vi's pies and award prize winning pies and stuff diner, or whatever the name of it is. It's a real cool restaurant though. Dang, I want some of the pies. So am I the only one that was watching that dang on scene of the grand opening of Violet's restaurant thinking I want them damn pies? I wish I could jump through this dang on screen and give me some pie. That pie. Can we just take a moment to think about the pie? Anyway, so there's the scene where Hollywood overhears Nova talking to this nosy neighbor. I call her nosy lady, whoever this nosy lady is, sitting at the diner table, the diner counter. And the lady is basically confronting Nova about the book, because she's aware that, or she saw something that let her know that Nova is getting ready to release her book. And she brings this up to Nova during this party, and Hollywood just happens to be standing right there, and he overhears, and like immediately he's concerned because I guess at some point, or maybe during their relationship, Violet has told him family secrets. So he's like, he wants to see Violet happy. She looks like she's doing well. Now, mind you, Violet is, really sick. She's really sick, but he's doing all that he can to keep her happy. So he's like, he confronts Nova, telling her, if there's some secrets in this book that the family needs to know about, and you're getting ready to release this book, then you need to let us know. You need to let us know right away so we can be prepared for it. Like, why haven't you told us? How is it that I'm hearing this book is already about to be released, but no one in the family has had a chance to read it? Like, he's very serious. I don't think I've ever seen Hollywood, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen Hollywood in any of these seasons be this serious when he approaches the rest of the family outside of Violet. I've seen him and Violet have their serious moments, but I don't think I've ever seen him have serious moments with any of the other cast members, but especially Nova. Like, he's like, I felt like what I heard in that scene was, I promised this woman that I was going to protect her and do all that I can for her. So I'm going to just let you know now, I choose her over my loyalty to you. My loyalty to her is stronger than my loyalty to you. So you need to do what you got to do, or I'm going to go do it for you. That's like, that's why I felt like I got out that scene. And to be honest, like, that's her husband. I feel like that's his prerogative. That's what a man that he's, he's like, this is where my loyalty lies. I swore my allegiance to this woman and to protect her, and that is what I'm supposed to do. I'm her protector. Anyway, so that really seemed like it shook Nova, and also it just kept bothering her throughout the episode. She was having these dreams, in regards to, I guess, like her guilt feelings coming out about the fact that she knew this book was coming out, and she know what's going to be in the book, and she knows it's about the family and their secrets that she's exposing in this book, but she had yet to tell the family and prepare them for the fact that the book was getting ready to be released. I mean, the way she went around, and she did go around leaving that manuscript of her book to each family member, the way it seems like she left the manuscripts versus how soon the book ended up being released, it seemed like she waited literally hours or a day prior to the book being released to go around and give the family a manuscript of the book so that they can read it. So like, by the time she was giving out these manuscripts, there was this scene where her sister, Charlie Bordelon, had this, she was attending some award event, and they were recognizing her for, I guess, some accomplishments. But one of the things that her emphasized was being the first black woman to own a sugar mill down where they are at. And when she went to accept her award, this reporter stood up and started asking her questions like, in regards to something that she said, like, this isn't just about black women, it's about supporting all women or something like that, to that effect. And the reporter's like, do you really feel that way? Is it really about all women? and Charlie's like, can we do this another time? And the reporter's like, no, we cannot. And, you know, the reporter goes on to say, well, I actually read the release of your sister's book. I read her book, and these are the things that it states about you. And what they brought up was those some seasons prior, how did I say season? We on season 4, by the way. We are not on season 5. So if I said season 5 earlier, I was wrong. We are on season 4. But there were some seasons prior, and I can't remember if it was season 1 or 2, where Charlie Bordelon paid off, she did something dirty in regards to attempting to silence her ex-husband, Davis West, who is also the father of her child, the father of her son, Micah West. She did something to pay that mistress off, or whatever the case was. She did something really dirty, basically. And if you all want to know about that, look, you're gonna have to go back and watch it. They do mention it on the episode. The reporter goes over like what she's approaching her about in regards to that whole situation. I just can't remember, and I can't word it correctly, but basically it was not the correct thing for Charlie to do. But at that time, if anybody remembers those earlier seasons, Charlie was very desperate and just really trying to get back on track with her husband. Plus, she did not know that her husband actually was the aggressor in the situation. I think she thought it was just like more so of him, you know, just cheating on her, but it seems like it was way more to it. But anyway, woo, her ex-husband, anyway, it caught her off guard. It caught Charlie off guard. It would not have caught Charlie off guard if Nova had gave everyone the manuscript sooner, before, you know, way prior to the book being released. However, because Nova waited to the last minute, these questions that arose, even though Charlie, prior to going to this event, received the manuscript from Nova, she didn't have time to read it. She was busy, you know, getting ready for this event and taking care of her business. So she didn't even get a chance to read it. So the questions from the reporter caught her off guard. She was very offended. And when it moved over to the next scene, she went home and read the book, and she was just like hella distraught. So you can only imagine what is in the book. Like, I really need to know what is in the book. If I probably have not said this already, the book is called Blessings and Blood. That's what the book is called. I told you, my memory is like, whew, on this stuff. I only watched the episode one time. Look, Blessings and Blood. That is what the book is called. I think that's a really good name for the book. It's pretty all right. But anyway, so, you know, with that being said, when Charlie did go home and read the manuscript, immediately she calls her brother, Ralph Angel, because she asked him, like, did you get a copy of the manuscript? And he said, yes, but at this point, Ralph Angel has not read the book. So she's like pleading with him on the phone, don't read the book. I'm on my way. Just don't read the book. Well, hard-headed Ralph Angel, because he's always hard-headed, but he's a man, you know, he's a man, and he has a right to open up that book and read it himself. You know, I know he get tired of his big sisters bullying him around and telling him what to do, but they just trying to protect him. I should know. I'm a big sister. I do the same thing to my little brothers. So sure enough, we see him in the next scene. He's sitting there reading it, and you can hear like Nova Bordelon's voiceover of like basically her reading the book, but really it's just him, you know, reading her words. So they have like her voiceover, which is pretty cool. And she's basically saying in the book how Blue is not his son. And she kind of attaches that whole thing to Ralph Angel's manhood, why and how. I'm not even about to go into that. There's some psychology stuff, but she did it and it broke him down. Like in that scene, you can see him breaking down. It was just sad. It was just so sad. And then Hollywood, I think this is like towards the end of the episode, Hollywood ends up finding the manuscript that Nova Bordelon left on Violet's desk. And he shut the door to Violet's office by himself and sat down and started reading the manuscript, because I think his goal is to read the book first and not have Violet get a hold of it, because he's aware, he knows that there's some secrets in there, because he said it in the earlier episode, like Nova why have we not seen your book? You know, what is in that book? Because you're not the one to keep your mouth shut. So I know there's some secrets in that book. And so it seems like, you know, he feels like he's protecting Violet by getting to the book first, getting to the information first. And that's pretty much how the episode closes out. But going back into the episode, I also want to address the fact that we don't see Remy. Remy is the man who Charlie Bordelon was first talking to after her breakup or divorce between her and her ex-husband. He was the man she confided in and was helping her get through all of that, and they really were interested in one another, but the whole thing did not work out. We don't see him in this episode. We don't see Micah yet in this episode, who is Charlie's son. Mind you, Remy and Nova Bordelon, Charlie's sister, actually ended up, you know, expressing their feelings for one another. So that's a whole interesting thing in itself. So it's going to be very interesting to see when Remy does come back onto the season, or if he comes back to the season. Anyway, but we do know Charlie Bordelon has a new love interest. Now, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get this wrong, but her new love interest is basically, he speaks Spanish, so I want to say he's an Hispanic male. I don't really know what he is, so I don't want to get that wrong, but I just know he speaks Spanish. That don't necessarily mean he's a Hispanic, but she also speaks Spanish, so it is what it is. But we see these two. I think their opening scene together was the two of them. Wherever he whisked her away to, they were both getting like a couple's massage. Then eventually he dismissed the massage therapist and started giving Charlie a massage himself. In this episode, we also see that he pretty much confronts Charlie in regards to Micah, because it seems like he wants to get serious with Charlie and he wants to meet her son. But Charlie is more so like, well, I don't really want to think that far ahead. I just want to take it day by day. Now, she didn't gave this man the blow off. That's all she did, was give him the blow off, basically. Like, she, you know, that's terrible. That's really terrible, because she's basically, that's code for, don't mess up what we got, all right? I'm not ready to make that move. Let's just put the nail in that right now. We'll come back to that later. But right now, I'm just enjoying what we have. You know, like, guys do it too. So that's just, I felt bad. And he seemed like a good person, you know. But, you know, when you have a child, and I think for Charlie, I'm going to speak strictly for Charlie's situation. This is a woman who we only on season 4, okay? So what's that, like 4 years of this? So she just got a divorce from her cheating ass husband, and lying ass cheating ass husband. Then she just got out of a situationship with that guy named Remy. Now she jumped into something, like she's back into something else. Oh, and not to mention there was that other guy, the pale face, who family is, you know, like big balling down there when it comes to all the farmers and stuff. He had an interest in her, and it seemed like she was starting to catch some feelings for him. Now it's this Hispanic guy who I think is a doctor. He's a doctor, so I'm gonna call him the doctor. Well, now it's the doctor, and it's like she's going from one guy to another, but never really having a chance to be by herself after this marriage and just heal and work on herself, work on her family. You know, she does have a son, you know, focus on that. So I can see why she would not be interested in anything serious, but I think maybe she should not be talking in code to him, saying things like, well, I just want to take it day by day. No, I think she needs to come out and say, listen, I've been through some things. I just got out of some other situationships as well as a marriage. I'm just out here trying to have fun. And, you know, if you down for that, cool, we can be cool, you know, and that does not mean you go meet my son. You know, already met my family, but you ain't got to meet my son, because that's letting you know we taking this a step further. But if you don't feel like that works for you, that's fine. I completely understand. And we don't need to continue with this. So I think, you know, it would be best if she be honest with him, because I know, you know, as for women, we wouldn't want a guy to lead us on that way. We wouldn't want a guy to be uncertain with us. Well, some of us would prefer a man to, you know, really, lay it out and speak the truth. Like, where is this going? Is this going somewhere? No. Is, you know, yes or no? That's all we need to know. So I think that's really the answers he's looking for, a concrete answer, a certain answer, and she's not willing to give it because she enjoys his company, but it does not seem like she's, you know, ready to jump into anything. And to be honest, she shouldn't. She really shouldn't. But it seems like she never had time in these 4 seasons to be by herself, which is what I think would be best for Charlie Bordelon, but we'll see what the writers think. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. That's the only real major highlights. You got the fact that Ralph Angel is no longer on probation or parole, or one of those P words he was talking about, but yet his old probation officer or parole officer, I think it's parole officer, so it's parole, he's no longer on, his parole has concluded. The parole officer, however, that he's cool with now, wants him to use his farm as a re-entry program. I was wondering why, am I the only one that was wondering why Ralph Angel didn't seem like he really wanted to do so? And I was wondering if it's because, remember there was that season, I don't know if it was last season or the season before last, where Darla almost took Blue away because there were a lot of males in Ralph Angel's home. And I can't remember if she found out some of them were, you know, felons or whatever the case may be, but I wonder if it's because he knows, you know, with the whole situation with the custody situation with Darla, he might fear that Darla may come over and see that all these felons are around the house and then he has a son, or just the fact that he does have a son, and now we're talking about making his farm a re-entry program where you got individuals coming out of, you know, prison, and they're going to be working on your land around where your family would be. So that is something to take seriously. While we need, you know, re-entry programs, we also got to think about the fact that where his farm is, his family is also at. So, and he does have a little son. So I don't know, you know, if that's the reason why he was looking skeptical, but I wanted to know, like, why was he looking skeptical? Is that what was going through his head or not? But there was that situation with him and Darla where she's like, no, if you're going to have these guys up in your house, and see, that was in the house, that wasn't on the land. So I don't know, but you know, she basically wanted to take Blue away after witnessing that. So that was another thing that occurred within the episode. Also, the whole thing when Darla came to the diner for Violet's grand opening, how Violet gave her the cold shoulder by basically saying to her, yeah, you can fix yourself a plate before you leave. Well, I said, hell, at least she offered her something to eat. That's a step, you know. But Ralph Angel did approach Violet about her cold shoulder towards Darla. But to be honest, you know, that's her nephew, and all of them know that Blue is not really Ralph Angel's son, and that Darla knew the whole time. So I gotta say, if it was me and I had a nephew, or just my little brothers even, and something like that happened to them, and that woman knew that that child was not theirs the whole time, and they've been taking care of this child as if it was their own, I wouldn't give 2 cents about her either. I really wouldn't care 2 cents about her much either, and I really wouldn't care for conversation. I would literally be forcing myself to do it because they told me to. Other than that, I would be just like Violet. So I really don't hate on Violet at all for the way she's treating Darla, because I would say at least she was civilized enough to say, get yourself something to eat, because she could have just said, oh, okay, well, see your way back out the door now, or just throw a damn gift back in her face, because Darla gave her a gift at the grand opening. Who knows what the hell was in the gift? She passed that gift off so damn fast you would have thought it was on fire. But anyway, so that's pretty much it that I can remember in this episode. I believe the biggest thing about this episode is this damn book. What the hell is in this book? I thought we was about to find out somebody wasn't somebody's child. Like, I thought we was about to find out, you know, Aunt Violet is actually Mama Violet. Like, I was trying to figure out what was popping, really. So I'm very excited to see episode 2. I don't watch a lot of TV shows at all. YouTube is really my thing when I do have time to watch anything. But this is one of the shows. Of course, we're in season 4 now. I have been following this show a lot consistently. I follow this show. I follow shows like Insecure, or the show Insecure as well. I'm still waiting on them to come back. I heard they're not coming back this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, I'm very excited. So I'll make sure. I'm not the best at this discussion thing. However, you know, it is definitely new to me to sit here and discuss these TV shows. But I do believe I will get better with each discussion or recap that I do. So bear with me, you all. But again, that is a discussion of Queen Sugar season 4 episode 1, and I am very excited to see season 4 episode 2 coming up. So I will definitely be back with a discussion on that. Until then, peace.